This is a unique house, and it's in that multi-million pound category. So I also went to some of the big London agents who are difficult to deal with. They're quite self-important. With Martin Gerrard, I found they were very down to earth, very practical. And for them, this is a big sell. So I knew it would be an attractive deal for them. And we were also able to negotiate a sensible commission between us. And then I thought they were very focused and put a lot of effort into deals are never straightforward. There's always complexities. And it's actually an agent distinguishes themselves when the complexities come. I wanted it done very low key. I didn't want lots of people trailing through. It's a very special property. So they managed to do some good pictures. They launched those, I think, on their website. I wouldn't have any signs outside the house. I wouldn't have crowds of people. All had to be by appointment. So there was an element of discretion around it, and I thought they handled that very well. I wanted a local agent who knew the locality well, but I also needed an agent that had potential buyers who can afford a multi-million pound purchase. And they were able to bridge those two, and then they can help me complete the deal. I think if you don't have the local knowledge, you don't realize how unique this place is, this particular location. You wouldn't know that if you were a major London one. You just go in and evaluate it perhaps on a something more simple like how much per unit, per square foot do these houses go for. If you do that calculation, you come out with something that statistically sounds right and is completely wrong. So they understood that differential in a house like this. So it's worth more than the standard unit size per foot. And the other thing that was important was I had to ask them, do you have buyers who've got the cash to buy a multi-million pound house? Because if you don't, there's no point. And they did. It's rare you have a deal, whatever it is you're doing in your business life, that goes straight forward. This didn't go straight forward. There were issues, there were hiccups, there were disagreements. I felt they acted in my interest and helped get the deal over the line. And there were a couple of times it could have fallen apart, but they delivered what I needed. So I think they went the extra mile. And that included working on weekends, out of hours, phone calls, trying to liaise between myself and the buyer, between the lawyers, helping to resolve technical issues. All of that was a little more than you'd expect from the average agent. They made a real effort, and that made a difference, and that got the sale completed. Look, I went to the big London agents. They came over. I'm a multi-million pound house, but I'm not Kensington or Notting Hill. So I would be in the lower category. So I would not get the attention. Also, their documentation was complex and difficult to deal with. Also, they were slightly inflexible on the economics of the deal. With Martin Gerrard, I knew I was dealing with a local company. It was a company I'd known before and worked with. It was a company that I felt had the right attitude, who I felt would work with me, who I thought this is probably one of the biggest houses they'd have on their books. So this would be a prize opportunity for them. And I think all of those things matched up, and that's why I eventually chose them. The thing that impressed me the most, a bit like Avis and Hertz, people who can remember that far back, Avis was the smaller company, Hertz was the bigger company, Martin Gerrard was the smaller company, others were the bigger company. They tried harder. They went the extra mile. They were tenacious, diplomatic, helpful, and I think that I'm very pleased with the work they put in to help me get the house sold. It can be quite interesting and slightly irritating in modern life because you often get a digital request for the quality of the service before you've had the service. How was your hotel stay before you arrived? And most of the time, service today is very utilitarian. Martin Gerrard were different. They were excellent. So when they called me up and said, would you be prepared to do this? It's unusual I'm prepared to do stuff like this because I'm a very private person. And I felt, in this case, I'll make the exception because I felt they were exceptional in how they worked to help me get this sale done. So I'm very pleased to help recommend them as a first-class local agent who went, as I've repeated before, the extra mile to get a deal done.